Okay, cool. Recording. So, upper body, like last week, especially for Jonathan that was newer to us last week. We start with a test. I think you missed the test last week because you came a couple of minutes late. But you hit it at the end. We hit our warm-up and then we hit our mobs. So, seeing as we're doing overhead today, it's going to be an overhead test. And the way we do this, we either do this against the floor, we do this against the wall. And basically what we're going to do, if you watch me in the background, these can either be against the wall with our back flat. I want to see bum touching. I want to see shoulders on the wall as well. And from here, pointing the thumbs up, I'm going to take our hands up towards the wall. And ideally, if you've got good mobility, you can maybe see that I haven't got the best mobility here. The hands or the thumbs should be able to touch on the wall. So this is one way to test it. We can also do this on the floor if we haven't got any clear wall. Basically, if we're doing it on the floor, we're laying down. Again, bums touching, shoulders are touching. We're pointing our thumbs downwards, and then we're going to try and take those hands overhead. If you've got good mobility, they should be able to touch the ground. As you can see, mine are just hovering off, but hopefully after we've done some mobilizations, I should be able to touch the floor on the next one. But bum down, shoulders on the floor, not allowing the lower back to arch. You want to keep that belly button pulled in. I'm just going to see how far our hands go and see if we can get them to touch. So give that test a go now. Do it for maybe 2 or 3 reps and then bring it back in and I'll take you through the Tabata warm-up for today. So bum against the wall, shoulders against. Seeing as we haven't done this for a while, everyone might be a little bit tighter again. Keep that belly button pulled in. Don't allow the lower back to arch. If you can touch, this shows that you might have good mobility in the upper back, might even be quite good mobility in the shoulders. If we're struggling to touch, it usually comes from the thoracic spine, or it may come from the front of the shoulders here, or even into the pecs that connect up into the shoulder. But we're going to be working all those areas today anyway. So we're going to go into our warm-up. Like last week, Tabata warm-up, I always hit the Tabata. 20 seconds work, 10 seconds rest. This is mainly just start getting some movement through the body to start getting some blood pumping. So we're going to do jumping jacks today. We're then going to go into cat-cows, then downward dog with a bent knee, and then a thread the needle movement. So let me quickly show you these movements. Oh, chop my head off. There we go. So jumping jacks, we know. Cat-cows are going to be knees on the hips, hands on the shoulders, pushing away, trying to tuck the hips as much as we can, pull the head down, and then we'll try and lift the bum up, pull the shoulders back as far as we can. So alternating between these. For the down dogs, we're going to do this with a bent knee so we can work our thoracic spine a little bit more. You can even push your heels into the ground a little bit too. But by bending the knees, it's going to allow us to work the upper back rather than just the back of the legs. And then for the thread the needle, we're going to come from a quadruped position. So again, hands underneath the shoulders, and then we can thread one hand through the other, take the shoulders to the floor, come back up, and then we're going to alternate. And I'm going to start bringing a little bit of rotation into our upper back as well. So I'll get the clock, everyone on their hands and feet. I felt great after last week as well. Okay, here we go, guys. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Jumping jacks first. Three, 2, 1. Take it down on the floor. So we'll start going into our cat-cows next. So pushing that floor away. Tucking the hips under as much as you can to get a little stretch in the low back too. Pushing the hips up, shoulders up, but keeping the arms straight as you do this. Three, two, one. Little rest. Next, we're going to go into the down dog with bent knee. Just going to whip my socks off because I keep slipping on this carpet. Okay, here we go. Bent knee. Pushing that head through the arms. You can relax and then push through a little further again. Keep trying to actively push those hands into the floor. You try and drive the head and the chest through the arms as much as possible. You're going to relax. Back onto the knees. And next, thread the needle. So we're going to take the hand through, take the shoulder to the floor. We're going to touch, nice and slow, then come back up, and then we're going to switch. You might feel that one side is a little bit tighter in the rotation here. So relax. Jumping jacks again. 2, 1, let's go. Two, one, back down to the floor. This is straight into your cat cows. Good, relax. Up onto the toes, so keeping the knees bent, forcing that head through the arms as much as we can. And relax, try and push a little further. And relax. Three, two, one. Onto the knees and then straight into the thread the needle. So hand through, take the shoulder to the hand, really reach through as far as you can. And then come up and switch. You might feel a bit of tightness in the back of the shoulder. You might feel it through the thoracic. Cool, and relax. So, first mobilization for today, the thoracic. So you can use the roller for this. If you have a double ball, do we have a double ball around? Helper? Give me those tools a second. Or if you had a double ball, imagine these were like sellotaped together. You can use your double ball as well. So basically the idea with the double ball is spine goes through the middle, so we don't get any contact on any of the bones, but either side of the ball would then run down the erectors either side of the back to mobilize those. So the shape of the ball is basically to protect our spine. Spine is here where there's no kind of contact, and then the erector muscles go down either side. So this is quite an intense way of working off kind of the thoracic spine or the erectors down the middle. If you're like me and stick to this, it's a little bit less intense, but they both do the same job. So basically what we're going to do is place the roller underneath our upper back. And then, like last week, there's a few different techniques. The pressure wave will be just rolling up and down the upper part of the back. And this can be from kind of where the lats come in the middle, all the way up to the base of the neck. There's a couple of ways to do this. You can give yourself a cuddle as you roll up and down. We can take our hands overhead. This is going to be a great one because this is mimicking the position that we're trying to change. We can hug ourselves and then lean to one side to work one side of the back, same the other. And this is going to be our pressure wave. So we just kind of roll it up and down the roller. We can floss by extending over. So as we extend, like in our test, we keep our core nice and tight. We keep that belly button pulled in. And basically we're just going to lean out upper back over the roller. We can do this with the hands extended too. We're going to reach down to the floor, but keeping this as tight as possible. And then if you have anywhere that's super tight, from last week, we can do our contract and relax, where we find a tight spot, we tense our muscles as much as we can, big deep breath in, and as we breathe out, we try and relax. We're going to spend 3 minutes working this position today. So big chunk of time because it needs that little bit longer to try and loosen off. So here we go. Clock is going to go on. Grab your rollers or your balls. Not literally, obviously. Boys, here we go. 3, 2, 1, clock's on. So rollers under the upper back. I like to start from kind of the upper or the lower part of the upper back, and we'll extend over, come up, move down an inch, extend a little bit more, move down an inch, keep trying to work some movement through this spine. That can be hands overhead. That we can be giving yourself a little bit of a cuddle, all the way up to the base of the neck. That'll also get the traps involved as well. We can lift the hips up and roll, pressure wave, up and down. That click was my knee. I'm not even mobilizing my knee, but that click was my knee. If at any point when mobilizing thoracic you get an achy neck, you can use your hands just to kind of protect your head. And it just takes a little bit of pressure off the neck. But one of the main things, as I mentioned a second ago, is to keep this core tight. As soon as this core comes loose, we just open up the lower back, which we don't want. Oh, that's 1:30 already. We're going to go into the lats next. How long do you want to do on the lats, Paul? Give me a number. None. Good number. Keep extending over as much as we can. You can stay in that extended position for a second or two if you like. And if it's anywhere particularly tight, you can hold, you can hit your contract to relax. Big deep breath in. This is everyone's favorite like roller stretch, but they use a roller like a support, like a bench. And we just end up like just sitting here and relaxing. Okay, we've got like 10 seconds left. Three, 2, 1, and relax. So next, we work into the lats. How long did I write for this? 2 to 3 minutes. We'll see how we feel at minute 2. So next to the lats, we're going to end up laying on our side. So we're going to do one side at a time. Basically, we're going to take our arm overhead, like our overhead position. And then where I want to place a roller is like right underneath the armpit to start off with. So what I'm trying to do is work down this muscle that connects from the upper back all the way up into the arm. So it comes down to about here. You don't need to go any lower than that. We start off underneath the armpit, laying on our side, and then we can pressure wave by rolling up, down to the middle of the back. If it's super painful, like I don't know if anyone can, if we can see everyone on here, but Paul just literally just grabbed his mouth like this. I think he went to bite his hand or something. So if it's super painful, we can just chill. We can just like find the tight spot and try and relax. We can pressure wave up and down. We can also pressure wave side to side as well. So taking our chest to the floor and backwards. So like a sideways pressure wave. Contract and relax is great for this. So if it's super tight, where it's painful just to move, we just find the spot. We tense a lot as much as we can. Big deep breath. And then as we try and breathe out, we just try and relax over this roller. Oh yeah, Katie can feel this. So that's how contract and relax. And we can also just move this arm around overhead just to try and bring some movement into this if you find a tight spot. So let's start off with 2 minutes aside. If we can make it 3, we'll add an extra minute in. Okay, so 2 minutes on the clock starting now. So again, it might just be for some people, if it's super tight underneath here, it might just be find a spot, and it might just be laying in that spot, just trying to relax as much as we can. As you do this, big deep breaths. We can only relax if we take big deep breaths here, not short, sharp, not like we're having babies. If this is easy for you, you can try and lift your hips up. That'll bring a little bit more pressure. Again, we can pressure wave side to side. You can work your way away from the armpit, or work your way down from the armpit as well. Same again, try and pressure waving side to side, try pressure waving up and down. Nice and slow as you do this. Nice big deep breaths. Oof. I can tell we haven't done these in a while. Okay, that's 1 minute in. Let's go for 3. I think we need it. We need it. We'll go for 3 minutes. We need it. So I always do a minimum of 2 when we're working the muscles. It's been research proven that whenever we're stretching, whenever we're mobilizing, to really start to make change, you should spend a minimum of 2 minutes working that muscle group, unless it's before like a workout and we're doing some dynamic exercises, which is a little bit different. But whenever we're static stretching, whenever we're mobilizing, where we want to make change, 2 minutes ideally should be our minimum. But you can spend up to 10 or longer. We've done 10-minute lats before. We'll have to bring them back next week, 10-minute lats. Maybe not next week. And you can pressure way up and down if it's starting to loosen off now. You should feel that some of that kind of tightness that we had at the beginning should be starting to fade away. Hopefully. Okay, we've got 30 seconds then, and then we're going to change sides. Again, you can lean backwards and forwards, find a tight spot. Don't forget the contract and relax. 3, 2, 1. Change sides. Okay, 3 minutes on this side. Again, start off near the armpit. Pressure wave front and back. And then start pressure waving up and down. Maybe move down an inch. Pressure wave front and back. Go searching for that tight spot. As always, we should be trying to focus on anywhere that feels tight. Not the easy bits. You can use a mobility ball here as well. One day, Paul. One day. Again, you might find that one side's tighter than the other. Even though I don't show it because I'm on camera. This is horrendous. If you guys weren't here, I would cry. I'm staying strong for you guys. We're staying strong together. As I mentioned on the last side, if it's super painful or super tight, just find that tight spot and just try and relax. You don't need to do any movement if you don't want to. Contract and relax is always great if it's really, really tight. Don't forget those big deep breaths. Ooh. Jesus. Bit sore. Whoa. One more minute on this side. Whereas later, it's going to feel fantastic. After last week's session, I went into the box and did like a couple of squats. I'm like, oh, I feel great. What have I been doing today? Then I realised we had this class in the morning. 30 seconds. That's 10. 3, 2, 1, and relax. So next, we're going to work into the pec minor. So we're going to lie onto the front. You guys have done this one before. So where I'm trying to work next will be not the front of the shoulder. If we think chest, if we lift our arm up slightly, and if you grab into the corner, you can feel that the pec starts to come up into the shoulder. This is where we're trying to work next. So this gets super tight from all the kind of movements that we do in that kind of front position. We think typing as well, if we're like working at a computer all day, these pec minors can shorten and get super, super tight here and start to round the shoulders off. So next we're going to try and loosen that off, try and allow this shoulder to open up. So when I get the roller next, I'm going to lay down on the floor doing this. I'll place my arm out to the side. There's a few different areas you can place it. It can be overhead, it can be to the side, it can be down slightly, but what we're trying to do is roll all the way up into the top of this pec here. So basically how we set up for this will be lying on our fronts, arm out to the side. The roller is going to come diagonally, let me show you from standing position, diagonally into the arm. I'm going to come out to the side. To add pressure into this, we use our other hand to then lean into the roller. So I can climb pressure wave up onto the chest. I can move the arm around in different position. Mine always feels tight as I bring it down. We can move the arm around to floss. So finding a tight spot, moving the arm up and down. And again, if it's super tight, we can kind of contract, squeeze the pec, big deep breath in, relax, and then just kind of relax on the roller. So get into position. This one is going to be 2 minutes each side. You can do it with a mobility ball as well. Okay, here we go, clock's on. So diagonally underneath the armpit, use the opposite hand to add pressure. Pressure wave on and off the roller. Try moving the arm around. This is a really good one. So take it from overhead, move it down to your side. This really starts to work across the muscle. Again, pressure wave on and off. You can lean forward toward the floor. You can kind of sit up slightly. You can rotate. You can see on that picture. You can rotate the hand, kind of thumb to the floor, like thumb up. See if anywhere in particular feels tight. that hand around in like a big semicircle. I really loosen the chest off. We're going right to the corner of that pec if we do this. Move that arm around. Roll yourself onto the roller, roll yourself off the roller. Really try and work that corner. We're basically trying to work our way onto the chest and then off the chest. We've got about 10 seconds left and then we'll switch sides. 3, 2, 1. Opposite side. The same again, diagonally across, underneath the chest. Use this bent arm to roll yourself onto the roller and then off. Lift the hand up, start moving it around. This is my favourite one for when I hit the pec minor. Roll onto the chest, roll off the chest. If you have the oversized mod balls, they're great for this as well. The ones that are like almost mini football size. These are great for getting into the pec minor as well, if you have one of those at home. We've got about 50 seconds left on this side. Keep rolling onto that chest, rolling off the chest, really working up into that corner. Keep searching for those tight spots. Get that arm moving. Rotate that hand to the floor, rotate that hand to the ceiling. Three, 2, 1. Now relax. Next, just give me 2 seconds, let me grab a chair. We're going to finish on some stretching. So ideally you're going to need some sort of chair for this next. Also, if you have a stick, you may use a stick. If you haven't, don't worry about that. But we're going to do some contract and relax stretching now. So this is a little bit different to our kind of normal yoga style stretching. Basically, we're going to get into a position. We're going to hold a stretch. Today, it's going to be on the edge of a chair to try and loosen off our thoracic and loosen off our lats. We're going to relax into that position. And then when I say, we're going to force against the stretch. We're going to hold it for about 5 or 10 seconds. Basically going to contract our lats. And then we're going to breathe, relax, and try and go a little bit deeper into the stretch. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do today. So we're going to use a chair. If we haven't got a chair, we can put our elbows on the floor, so we can kind of do it in this like prayer stretch position. But it works better with a chair or a table. Elbows are going to go right onto the edge of the chair. Hopefully it's a little bit padded wherever you are. We'll either put our hands together in this prayer position, or if you have a stick, we're going to take like an underhand grip, roughly about shoulder width apart. I'm going to hold on to the stick as we do this. So basically just going to try and relax our head through the arms. This is going to loosen off our thoracic. This is also going to loosen off our lats. When I say, we're going to take a big deep breath in. We're going to push our elbows as hard as we can into the chair. As we breathe out, we're going to try and allow our head to sink through our head. Sorry, our head through our arms a little bit more. So that's going to be the stretch that we work. Or we can do this on the floor as well. So we're just going to wait for John to come back. I think he's grabbing a chair or a stick, and then we'll all do this together. Hopefully by the end of this, when we go back to that retest, we should notice a big difference from when we started. Hurry up, John. We're waiting for you. Oh, here he is. Ah, cool, we've got it. Okay, so 2 minutes. I'm going to talk you through this. So starting off, if you've got a stick, shoulder width apart. If you hadn't, do it in the prayer position. Elbows on the edge of the chair. Just going to relax our head through. So we're just going to relax here for now. Again, big deep breaths. As you breathe out, you should be able to sink a little deeper. Just hold it here for about 20 seconds. Next, we're going to take a big deep breath in. As we take a breath in, we're going to hold our breath and we're going to drive our elbows into the chair. So big deep breath in. Drive your elbows as hard as you can into the chair. We're going to hold this for about 10 seconds. Keep pushing, hard, hard, hard. And as you breathe out, I want you to allow your head to drop through your arms a little bit further. Nice, guys, keep breathing. Okay. So now we're going to take a big deep breath in again. Hold your breath. Drive those elbows into the chair as hard as you can. Keep holding, keep driving. 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. Relax a little further. We're going to hold it here for about 10 seconds, and then we're going to come out of this stretch just for 5 or 10, just take a little bit of a relax. Okay, and then just come up, relax up a little. Let the blood come back into the arms. And then we'll go again, back into position. Get through the arm, just relaxing at the moment. Big deep breath in. Hold, drive the elbows into the chair as hard as you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. Allow the head to relax through. Now I'm just going to hold it here for 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, shake out the arms, let the blood come back. Next, we're going to hit our retest. So however you tested in the beginning, let's test again. So this can either be on the floor, hands above. So at the beginning, you could see that my hands couldn't touch. Now they're right down on the floor. Right against the wall. Rib cage down. Shoulders against, lift the hands up. So now I can touch the wall. Whereas at the beginning, I really struggled to get those hands. It's a little tight, I can really feel it in my thoracic. But same for you, it might be thoracic needs a little bit tight, a bit more loosening. Might be the chest, might be the shoulders, but hopefully that's made a bit of a change from when we did this in the beginning. Okay, bring it back in. Oh, I don't know about you guys, but I needed that upper body stretch. Anyone notice big difference from start to finish?
Big difference.
Yes.
Get my hands flat against the wall at the end, whereas I couldn't touch it at the beginning.
Yeah, same for me. I couldn't even touch the floor when I first started, but I needed that. We haven't done that upper body one for a while now.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay then, guys. So I worked something different next week. What did we do? We did hamstrings and kind of hips last week. Upper body this week. Is there anywhere in particular anyone would like me to work?
Glutes.
Yeah, lower back, glutes.
Glutes, lower back. More on the shoulders. Okay, cool. I'll look at mixing all of that up next week then. So glutes, lower back, shoulders.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll write something up for next week, and then we'll either do kind of lower back and glutes next week, maybe, and then maybe do shoulders week after, so we can get lower, upper again.
Yes.
Awesome, guys. Cool.
Cool.
Have a good day.
Cheers, guys. See you later.
Yes.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.